I think we're
See
there.
that?
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
baby.
That's why I've got this happening. I got my in and out mug. Guys, welcome back to another exhilarating edition of this thing we call Operation Magic. If you tuned in to the last round of where we're at, and we're picking up right where we left off in this Disney Madness tournament, we have the Sweet 16 round going on. With me, as always, is my good friend and your friend and you, Josh Dunn. What's happening, buddy?
What is up? As you can see, we've got some natural daylight coming in, which is odd
Right?
because normally I'm recording with you at about midnight
Yeah.
my time. So it's
It's different.
it's kind of different. Got the family gone to Jersey. Don't know what to do with myself, so I figured why not just knock this recording out and
Right.
have some fun and
Well,
talk about we're gonna need some time to figure out these matchups anyway. We got some crazy
oh man, there
we
were
got
some
some crazy
upsets.
stuff ahead, and the polls definitely went crazy this time.
The,
So
the polls shook things up. Again, yeah, Josh is saying we're recording this as it's coming to you during the day. It's weird. I have more energy than I normally do come 9 o'clock my time, midnight your time. It's about the time my kids are settling in for the night. I've had a big bowl of something or a plate of something in my belly, and I'm ready to go on this one. But I had an interesting question come into our messages on the old Insta. When are we doing a live show again? Now the answer I gave them was the final round. When the
yeah,
cream fully rises to the top in this tournament, and when the championship round, that is when we are going to go live and we're going to debate this thing out hardcore that way. Doesn't
um, quick question:
yes, sir.
the live counter in the corner of your screen, does it seem like it just started to you?
No, mine says it's like at 2 minutes in.
Oh, mine's at 20 seconds.
That's
Huh.
wild.
Well, hopefully the intro is still there. If not,
Welcome back into Operation Magic with me, you're one of your favorite hosts, the ghetto Paul Freeze himself, James Kemp, and
but our live, I think we'll have some time this week for one if we
yeah,
really want to hop on.
yeah.
We can announce it the day before, hop on some live and have some fun. And
Yeah, we also need to break up the monotony, I think, of this tournament because we're going to be hitting y'all with some polls the next couple of shows, and I think poll burnout can be a thing.
yeah, well, I mean, it's March Madness, so
It
I mean,
is.
this is what we
This is what we signed up for.
this is what we signed up for, man, and it's gonna be. We knew going into this that we would use the polls for our disagreements, and
Yep.
that's one thing that people I don't think know. The polls just kind of pop up, but we are only polling stuff that we cannot get past together. And then as this tournament kind of cracks down a little bit, we'll be putting these in your hands a lot more too. But the first round, we kind of breezed through a lot of it.
Yeah.
We still pulled some stuff, but the polls guys are when we just fighting about it.
Well, and the only poll that I will say that we weren't really fighting about, the last one that we just threw up there because of the simple fact of what they were, because we agreed on it, was Pirates and Guardians.
Yeah,
And because it would be easy to give Pirates a pass and
absolutely.
be like,
Yeah.
but the idea is Guardians is still very new. It's very popular, much like Pirates is. It's very nostalgic. So to get your guys' opinion on that really mattered. And it was tight. The polls were really tight, all except Main Street USA versus Space Mountain. Oh, yeah. And that was wild to me.
And listen,
That
man. I mean, with these polls, I got a chance. I had a media pass. I got a chance to get in the locker room after the Toy Story matchup, and those guys are bummed. And they thought with the new movie coming out that they had a sure win a free pass into the Final Four. Woody, he's hanging his hat. He's thinking about retirement, man, and you hate to see it. You hate to see it for the toys.
Well, what did Han Solo say about playing space chess with the Wookiee? Rip your arms off, man. And that Wookiee came through big time in a big moment.
Yeah, see, a lot of people think that Sid did something to the Gatorade, but look, it was a fair win.
All those wins, all those upsets that we thought were going to be tight, they were tight all except one. They were tight all the way to the end.
That's the madness, man. And so far I haven't really felt invested in a matchup really. Like, this has been fun, but the Toy Story one was one where I felt like, okay, Woody and the gang definitely I thought would show up, right? And they did. They put up a good fight, but it just wasn't enough. They went up against a squad that's just been playing a lot longer than them. Yeah. So,
and that's how I felt about, like, I was really invested in the Haunted Mansion and World Showcase one.
Another surprise to me. I mean, I didn't think an attraction could take down. An attraction could make it this far. And here we are. We're in the Sweet 16. We got Haunted Mansion, and I think this is our final two. A final two attractions that are making it to the Sweet 16. One of them is going to make it to Elite 8 today. I don't know how this is going to go, but I say we just jump right in. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm ready. So let's start up top like we always do. We do have icons in their own right in this Disney Legacy bracket. The 1 and the 12 facing off at one another. Yes, we have Walt's Bench versus When You Wish Upon a Star. Now, it's going to be hard-pressed to say Walt's Bench does not take this in my head, because without Walt's Bench, we would not have that song. I know we can use that argument all day long, but the imagination that it took Walt, and again, you had Cliff Edwards singing When You Wish Upon a Star, but that's a surefire number one. That's like Duke right now in the tournament. It's really hard to see them getting beat, but what's your thought, Josh? How do you feel?
I feel like When You Wish Upon a Star should be really thankful they've made it this far in the tournament. They knew that they were staring at the number one matchup. I'm sure they've been going over gameplay all week trying to figure out how to get past Walt's Bench. But when you have the name Walt attached to anything, it's going to be a terrible matchup. Yeah. It could be Walt's handkerchief, and it would be a tough battle for anybody. So I think Walt's Bench comes through. It absolutely shows why the algorithm put them at number one.
Yep.
Totally crushing When You Wish Upon a Star, which is definitely a Cinderella-esque run through the legacy bracket, which is tough. I mean, a lot of good matchups in that bracket. So
anything below 12 or 12 to 16 or 16 or 15 or whatever it is in these brackets, any one of them, anything from 12 to 16, man, it gets really dicey, because those are teams that they have a lot to play for, and if they beat up on some people, then there it is. But when you get to a number one, you better be playing your A game, and I just don't think that's an A game sort of position to be in. Now, you move down, this is where it gets tough, because I can argue both sides for the mouse and for the cast members, but I'm going to let you take this. Tell me what your thoughts are.
Oh, bro, this is what I thought was going to be. When I saw cast members, when the viewing party came out of the rankings and I saw cast members sitting at number 11, I thought for sure, like, this is going to be, a runaway train of a seed. I have in my head the cast members taking down the mouse. I think that obviously you have the most iconic character, but I'm imagining that game as Mickey, obviously is the Michael Jordan of Disney, but you gotta have a cast around you, and you're talking a deep bench in the cast members. They've got their whole starting 5 legacy members out there, and they are showing the mouse, and they're showing some appreciation of why they are so great. They're great because of him, and they're great because of the vision. but they are the engine that keeps the whole show moving.
And
And
see, that's kind
that's
of where
that's
my head was 100%. My head here was don't get me wrong. The old adage is don't ever forget that it all started with a mouse. That's very true. That holds true to this day. That's why you said it. He's the Michael Jordan of Disney. However, that legacy could not be continued, and that idea could not be continued without the cast members. And being a former cast member myself, that is something that you hang your hat on. When you see Mickey Mouse during your traditions class, you come out and you get that overwhelming emotion of this is the guy that started it. This is where this company is with Steamboat Willie. This is what it is. But if it wasn't for me as a cast member or the other cast members out there, this legacy would not be continued.
And let's not forget who's in the costume, who is the mouse. We are talking about another cast member that is really embodying what it means to be Mickey Mouse. And I appreciate the Mickey Mouse lore. I love the mouse. It's just you're going up against the whole army of the cast members, which is really hot take. Might be my pick to make it out of this whole top left side of the bracket. They're the ones that I think that are going to end up somewhere in the final four, maybe even the championship round. And that just shows you how important the cast members are to Disney as a whole.
Now, this is where the cream is going to rise to the top. This is, I think, where our first poll sits. The Disney Bubble versus Main Street USA.
Yeah, and I'm not going to take the because obviously I'm probably going to be on the bubble side and you're going to be on the Main Street side, and I'm not going to take the route of the Main Street USA lives was in the bubble route.
Neither am I. That's how I could have easily said, well, Bubble's going to take this easy because of what you just said.
Exactly, that's unfair.
Last week we said that it's unfair.
Where I'm at with the bubble is in this matchup I'm going feeling. The feeling you get when you enter the bubble and the feeling you get when you hop on Main Street. To me, the bubble feeling is like a relief of stress taken off your shoulders that you've made it. You've made it inside the bubble, and everything from this point on is going to be magical. I don't get that feeling with Main Street, although I do enjoy Main Street USA. I don't get this, I can't explain the feeling, man. I can't explain it.
This is for people who don't get to stay in the bubble if you're in Anaheim, or those who do decide to stay outside the bubble in Florida. When you first enter the parks and you enter the bubble, it's got its own feeling. But when you enter the gates to the Magic Kingdom or Walt's original Magic Kingdom, you literally, this is what my dad told me. He goes, I remember the first time that we went under the train, under the trestle, under going in that tunnel, and you step on Main Street and watching your kids' eyes light up for the very first time. And the more I thought about that over this last, few days when we were, between episodes, I thought more about that. And I'm like, that's true, because Main Street encapsulates everything that the bubble is and more. You get there and it's the sights, the sounds, the smell. There would be no bubble without a Main Street in my eyes. Yeah, you get that sense of relief when you're in the bubble if you're staying on property. Yeah, if you have that luxury, 100%. But when you first enter the park, the first thing you see, the first thing you smell, the first thing you do, the first thing you hear is that old-timey music. You smell the smell of popcorn or the fresh-baked waffle cones. You see your characters. You look down Main Street, whatever castle you're seeing. And it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you cannot describe. The bubble you can somewhat describe because you're there. You have to enter the bubble some way, somehow. But once you get on Main Street, for whatever time it is, that feeling is so indescribable in my eyes.
I just think that the bubble encompasses your entire trip.
And that's fair.
Where you're talking you check into your resort, you're Welcome to the Dunn family to Disney World is on the TV. You got your Mickey towel shaped stuff on your bed. You've got the transportation. You've got so much encompassing. It's it's just like you get nowhere else where you can vacation. Nowhere on the planet is anything like the Disney bubble. So I think yes, this will be our first
Yeah.
poll matchup. I'm I'm not like this is one where I'm not
I'm not.
like too invested in it.
My feelings won't be hurt either way.
I can see where Main Street would take this. I can see where the bubble would take this. So I think this is a very fair matchup, and I think we see where the people what they will decide.
Now, the next one after this poll, we'll get that poll up ASAP. This next one, man, this is where my feelings are going to be hurt one way or the other, I think.
Yeah.
Because you have the 2 and the 3. You have the number 2 seed, which is the Haunted Mansion, one of the greatest attractions of all time. And then you hit it up against another great attraction of all time, the last attraction that Walt ever worked on, Pirates. How do you see this, Josh?
I mean, I see it through a really personal lens for myself. I mean, between the two, I mean, if you take all the lore out of both of them and just go from personal experience for me, my daughter's first ride was Pirates.
Right.
My wife's favorite ride is Pirates. My favorite ride is Out. So I have Pirates as one of my top rides. It's what I like to close the day with, and start the day with. Haunted Mansion is one that I also love. I just don't love it as much. I just don't.
And see, this is for me. I'm like you when it comes to Pirates. I'll ride it 3-4 times a day. It's actually, I was talking to our good buddy Lou over at Two Marines for Disney today. I was telling him, that's one of my favorite rides. I'll take a nap on that ride. That's my midday nap after I've had a beer or two. I'll go back and I'll take a nap midday because it's like, it's coming. I know all the twists and turns, but again, my heart is a mansion heart. Half my office is mansion everything. And Haunted Mansion was the first of its kind of attraction. It's in every park, and it's pretty much, it's different. It's got different stories like Pirates in every park. However, it was one of the rides that Walt was heavily invested in before he died. It was one of those rides, much like Pirates. He didn't get to work on it, and it morphed to so much more. So for me, there's so much more. If I were to take the personal feelings out of it, it would still be the same hurt feelings because Pirates was my grandma's favorite ride. It's my kids' favorite ride, to some degree. It's one of my favorite rides. But there's just something about hearing, the ghost host when you get into the elevator. It's something about getting in your doom buggy. There's just something about that whole attraction that is, no pun intended, all encompassing of your soul. Your soul just feels at home in that dusty old place for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think Pirates is like an epic adventure, and Mansion's more like intimate storytelling.
Exactly. Yes.
Where you have this really slow but really interesting story, and I've always said, and this is never going to happen, but it could, and some. Hey, bring back the magic, folks. This is some wet spaghetti for you right here. I think it should be just a little bit on the scary side, a little bit more. Like if you could have alien encounter in Magic Kingdom and have that whole terrifying experience, why can't we just turn the dial up just a hair on the creepy, on the spooky? I guess it's got to be kid friendly, but I wish it was just a little bit more.
For terrifying. A long time, they did have a little scare factor in there. So that as you go around the corner before you hit Leota's, the seance room with Leota, where you see the endless hallway, they had the knight that's there. That they used to actually have a person in the knight's armor, and they'd come up and scare you years and years ago. It became too scary. It took the fun out of it. So I understand the wet spaghetti. So I say we leave this to the powers
People.
that be. We'll pull it because
Okay.
it's one of those ones that I don't think we'll agree on, although we both see the idea behind both.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it gets hard over at the movies region. Really, really hard to me. The Lion King at number 1 and Aladdin. Two great voice casts, two great movies. They have their annoyances to them. Where do you see it?
Look, man, I don't know if I was supposed to see this, but I caught a glimpse behind the scenes of Woody talking to Simba, saying, "Hey, look, tough loss for us, but you guys have to be the ones to carry this whole tournament. It's in your hands." And that's a matchup I saw down the line. It didn't happen because of Star Wars doing a little upset, but I think that Simba in the gang with Mufasa as the head coach, it's really tough to. They're number one for a reason. Number
Right.
one for a reason. Um, I think Aladdin used up his 3 wishes to get here, and now they're running off pure talent. And I don't know if they match up well here against the Lion King. That's just my opinion.
So my thoughts on it all is Prince Ali Ababa does hold some weight because you have this voice cast. You look at it for the sheer idea and the characters. Now Iago doesn't do shit. Iago is the annoying assistant coach that you want to smack around. However, you've got the genie alone. You've got Aladdin, and you have. I mean, you have a great story in that movie. Now, the idea of belonging is the impetus between both those movies, if you think about it.
For sure.
Simba trying to find his way where he belongs in the circle of life. Aladdin seeing if he's a street urchin or if he's good enough to be a prince. They encompass love. You've always got the Nala eyes. Nala always making those weird eyes. You know, those come give it to me eyes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I think that we're in the fourth quarter, no time left. It's a tied game. Simba's at the free throw line. He makes eye contact with Nala, gives him that confidence, and he sinks 2 buckets to win the game. That's what I'm thinking, man. I think that across the board, Lion King has a star-studded cast, a deep look. Voice acting, Lion King, great. You have one really obviously you have Robin Williams over on the Aladdin side, but I've always, this is my own personal opinion. You can come at me if you want. Lion King, Toy Story, those movies are a tier, in my opinion, above the movies like Aladdin.
I can give you the idea of the Lion King being a tier above because it had a solid soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, Scott Winger, Robin Williams, they were they carried that well, and Gilbert Gottfried. Now Gilbert Gottfried was annoying as shit, like always, as Iago. I will let Lion King slide, but barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
We're not pulling this.
I could pull it.
Oh no, I'm down. If you, and look, and we didn't even mention the wild card of Rafiki being mixed into this game.
Right. Well, as I sit here and look at it, and my heart says Aladdin. That's where my heart sits. I love actually Aladdin over Lion King. I'll watch that any day of the week over Lion King. And I think it's because there's something about Lion King that it only resonates with a certain amount of people. As where Aladdin, the overall story resonates with everybody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And it's so for me, I can see your argument with the voice cast, and the reason I'm more willing to let Lion King slide into the next round, but barely, is because of the voice cast. It's not because of the story. The story is a weaker story, in my eyes.
Okay.
The telling of Lion King is just a revisionist history of Hamlet.
Okay.
Aladdin is more of the story that they adapted those from the Aladdin stories from what was oh god, I can't remember the exact title of the books they were adapted from, but they were adapted from actual stories. And you know, you had Whoopi Goldberg in Lion King. You have Jeremy Irons, also Phil Cummings to some. Not Phil Cummings, but Bill Cummings. You have Jonathan Taylor Thomas as a young Simba, Matthew Broderick. You have
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. You have what's his
probably one of the most iconic voices.
Right, and
of that time.
You also have Nathan Lane. If you don't know who Nathan Lane is, watch The Birdcage. He's opposite of Robin Williams. Wonderful actor. You have great songs, but the story is a tale as old as time. It's Hamlet. At the end of the day, it's a retelling of Shakespeare's Hamlet, and I think that's what drew people in if you understood Shakespeare. But Aladdin was a much better story. There was more hero antics and more of the hero's story and hero's journey within Aladdin than there was Lion King in my eyes. However, the voice cast carries it, but I don't think it gets out of the Elite Eight in my eyes, no matter what it's up against.
Okay, so we have Lion King moving on.
Yeah.
Now.
I originally had that down as a poll, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, I can see Josh's point in it.
Well, now we have two juggernauts as well going at it. Number 6, Curse of the Black Pearl, and number 7, Star Wars. It should put A New Hope on there. This is not the franchise. If we would have done franchises, it would have gotten out of control.
It would have gotten ugly.
Different movie franchises. So we got to go Star Wars, A New Hope versus Curse of the Black Pearl.
So this one, I know this will end up being a poll because I know where your heart lies. It's a Black Pearl heart. Mine's a Star Wars heart. Black Pearl, go ahead. Tell us why you think Black Pearl needs to be that one that goes up against the Lion King.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm kind of torn here. I'm not. My pick got knocked out against Star Wars, and if it would have been Toy Story versus Black Pearl, it would have been a wash to me.
Yeah.
It would have been a runaway game. This is closer because I gotta be transparent here. I'm not trying to act like I know a lot or be anything other than who I am. I'm not a huge fan. Not saying that doesn't mean I don't like it, but Star Wars: A New Hope, the first 3 movies that came out for Star Wars, it missed me. And then when I went back to watch them, it's like I didn't appreciate as a kid watching something that was made before my time. It just didn't really catch on for me. But I enjoy other Star Wars movies. Right. But A New Hope, I don't enjoy it. I'll sit down and watch it. It's just not my favorite. Pirates, I like the movies. I'm not like a diehard Pirates fan. I enjoy the ride more than I enjoy the movies.
That makes sense.
And that's why the ride came than the movies. But I off the 2 movies, if you ask me right now which one do I feel like going to sit down and watching, I would watch The Black Pearl before I watch Star Wars: A New Hope. See,
and for me, I was the tail end of that Star Wars generation. This one came out in 1977. And we ended up with Jedi, and I believe 84. So I was born in 1984. So I had a lot of that. I grew up going to my grandparents' house, where my uncle's Star Wars figures from when he was a kid were in the house still, like the original Jawas and Luke.
Right.
And I remember watching it on Betamax, a Betamax
Yeah.
tape. I remember when the special editions came out. And New Hope to me has changed a lot, and it's one of my It's still one of my favorites because of the way it tells a story. I think the storytelling is better than Black Pearl overall in New Hope. And understanding that movie alone changed cinema history. It literally changed how cinema was watched.
Sure.
It didn't become going to the movies was like, oh, there's a new movie out, let's go see this. No, this became like you have to see this. This became primetime sit down cinema experiences.
Well, look, I would say I will concede and say I will give the nod to Star Wars.
Okay.
I don't think it's worth polling because the next one's going to be a poll for sure. Like that next matchup where we have because you gave me some wiggle room on Lion King versus Aladdin. I came into the Black Pearl versus Star Wars not really caring about this matchup too much because whoever makes it out anyway, I'm going let's say Black Pearl won the poll anyway. I'm going to battle against them the next episode.
And I think the next episode and the next round in the Elite Eight, that's where a lot of these battles are going to really take place. Now,
so we got Star Wars moving on, and they will take on the Lion King in the next matchup.
That I did not see happening. Both the poll questions I had in my head as poll are now they're like not polls, which is great. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. We got one so far, and going to the food, I don't think we're going to have any issue really here.
So this is where I think we might end up with a poll with
the
Dole Whip and the turkey leg. And I have wiggle room on either side, the 1 and the 4. I love a Dole Whip. I love a good Dole Whip on a nice hot day. They're wonderful. They're a great sweet treat. But you always need something savory, right? You need that savory taste through the park.
Sure.
And to match that sweet, the savory is always a turkey leg, unless you find a chimichanga. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or the corn dog, which didn't make it on here. Didn't even make the list at all.
No.
So the turkey legs, as much as I have not been a fan of them as of late, because they've become bone dried, no pun intended, to some level, and the grease doesn't run down your arm. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the day, you see more turkey legs being eaten throughout the park than you do a Dole Whip. Because do you want a Dole Whip on a cold day? Do you want a Dole Whip float on a cold day?
I will tell you this, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't like ice cream.
No, fair enough.
I mean, I love a Dole Whip. Like you said, there's time and place for Dole Whip. It's become more popular than I would give it credit for.
100%. No. I
can see why out of all the options to ingest that the Dole Whip will be put number 1. If you just looked at me and thought to yourself, you didn't know me, is this guy gonna get in line for a Dole Whip or a turkey leg? I'm crushing the turkey leg.
I'd say this guy's a fucking Viking, and he's eating a turkey leg. I'm crushing the
turkey leg, and I'll be walking around with just a bare bone by the end of it.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think turkey leg upsets Dole Whip here. I went into this matchup thinking I'm not going to put any thought to it until we get to it. I haven't seen a change in the turkey legs, at least when I've gone. I don't eat a whole lot of them, though. That used to be in my 20s, get the turkey leg. Now with a kid, we're doing more like dining stuff. You know what I'm saying? Taking snacks with us, stuff like that. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm getting a turkey leg.
See, and that's why I say, as much as I bitch and complain about the turkey leg, I always end up with one.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll walk around the park, like, regardless if I know I have a dining reservation or whatever. I end up with one walking with it in my hand as I'm eating. It's a meal in itself. It's like $11 that I spend, and I'm full. I'm like, I don't have to. I just need my water at that point because that.
I had a
So
fr- I had a friend. We used to go out and drink a lot when I was stationed in Jersey. He was adamant non-smoker. Always wound up with a cigarette in his hand by the end of the night.
yep,
Trashed, just out there smoking a Marlboro Light. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" Oh man,
I'm
just a social
housed.
smoker.
Yep.
You talk shit about it all day long. You'll end up with one eventually.
And it's funny because as a reformed smoker in the military, I didn't smoke before the military, and I joined the military and I started out that way. Oh, I'll just bum one, and then I end up buying packs, and then next thing you know, I'm out at the bars, and that one guy always,
Hey James, let
hey
me get a
yeah, hey
cigarette.
man, do you have a cigarette I can bum? All right,
No,
bro. And and I haven't smoked in probably 11, 12 years at this point. Well, longer actually, shit. And it's funny you go to the bars and you can pick them out of the crowd. It's funny. You got that one
just
friend who's a
looking.
smoker with you, and like, oh, I know this person. There's one of them. There's gonna be someone who doesn't smoke otherwise, and they have their girlfriend or their boyfriend or whoever it is, and you'll be out there, shooting the shit with them. Have your drink out at the patio, and
Yeah,
you're not smoking. You're just out there hanging out, and you hear that, hey man, you gotta smoke, and their girlfriend is like, or boyfriend, you don't smoke. What the hell are you doing? I'm
I'm five.
trash.
I'm 5 beers deep. So
I'm
just let
five.
me.
Yeah, let me be exactly.
Let me
There's
be.
that's the turkey leg.
Yeah,
That's the
100%.
turkey leg at Disney. It's
Oh,
like,
if you
man,
get me drunk, if I go to Epcot, drink around the world, and we're bouncing over to Magic Kingdom, and you're not finding me stumbling around looking for a Dole Whip. I'm looking for that turkey leg
I'm looking
cart,
for a turkey leg,
and I'm
chimichanga,
about
something. Yep.
I'm about to destroy that.
Because over at Disneyland, there's two places you can get a turkey leg. You can get it at the park. I haven't really searched them out at DC, but over at Matterhorn, on the outside of Matterhorn, there's a turkey leg kiosk where you can get corn on the cob and a chimichanga. And over outside of Big Thunder, there's a turkey
Mhm.
leg cart where you can
Okay.
get a chimichanga, corn, or a turkey leg. And I know those spots because it's like when I want a turkey leg, it's usually right about midday, later in the evening. I may have already just eaten Plaza Inn fried chicken, and that turkey leg will sound like, oh man, oh I want a turkey leg. I'm full as shit, but I want a turkey leg.
100%.
So this one
Now
is a
our
little more clear
last
cut.
matchup. Yeah, it's Epcot Food Booths, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, this is clear
Okay.
cut. Yeah.
With World Showcase being knocked out by I forget Main Street
No, Mansion.
Mansion. This is the last thing Epcot's got representing it, and to
Mm.
be honest, this is besides the whole showcase as a whole. This is the cream of the crop. What Epcot is all about, man. I mean, these booths being everywhere, you get all. And there's no way a Mickey waffle can take out the food booths. And food booths, to be honest with you, could have been ranked number one in this food section,
Oh, you could have.
because now you can go the bubble route and say you can find a lot of these things, you know, in the parks, but the food booth gives you that break from the turkey legs, from the Dole Whips, from these generic foods that you get
Yep.
that are more like theme parky, and you get to have quick, handheld, just awesome food from all around the world. So to me, the food booth takes the win, but not just a win, a dominating win,
It
showing the rest of the
crushes.
bracket that they are here to stay.
In my humble opinion, no matter how this goes, I do see this making it to the championship round. If we're
Well, the
being,
championship would have to beat the movies. So that's going to be close. They definitely make it to the final four,
yeah,
but can they upset either like Star Wars, Lion King, movies like that?
yeah.
Can they take out something like that? And the Mickey Waffle can't do it. I don't think the turkey leg can do it, but Epcot food booth,
That I think it could. And
I
here,
don't know.
and this is where it might be one of those things we leave it up to the group, because here's the thing:
Well, when it gets time, yeah, we will.
Yeah, when it
But
gets
that's the
time.
next round.
That's next round. But here's how I see it. We got very lucky because I saw a lot more polls out of this than we got. We only
Oh,
ended
we
up with
did
2
it.
polls. And it's like,
We
for
did.
me, yeah, we only ended up with 2 polls.
What are the two?
We ended up with Main Street and the Disney Bubble
Okay.
and Haunted Mansion and Pirates.
Oh, Haunted Mansion of Pirates. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, we did great then.
And it's because we both understood the assignment here. We understood that when it came down to this, that you had to be logical. And to go back to the food booths, it's like that I mentioned it earlier, the sweet versus savory. When you do the food booths, you have an opportunity to do that. And I brought it up. I brought up last episode when I did food and wine at Disneyland. And this should, like I said, just be Disney food booths because they have a food booth at every park for every season, Lunar New Year, whatever it is, right? And I went and I was with my friends from Kentucky, the Davis family, and Mama Julie. She wanted to do food and wine. I want to do food and wine. And for the pass, you got your 8 tabs. It's like $40 or $50. She took 4. I took 4, and we each got a drink, a main course, a side entree, and a dessert. And I got everything I wanted. And in that, I got like a 4-ounce steak with mashed potatoes. I got these little like cheese type ball things that had like, they were spicy. They had different stuff in it. They were tempura. That was great. It was a great little appetizer. I got a strawberry shortcake for dessert, and I had this like lemonade, this blackberry blueberry lemonade thing that was really good. I got my sweet, my savory, my spicy. I got all that at the food booths. Mickey waffles are that perfect sweet in the morning, just like the Dole Whip on a hot day is that perfect ice cream whip, like sweet treat that you want.
Right.
But there's something about having a mix of being able to get your sweet and savory all the way around.
Now, before we check out of this episode, what matchup are you most excited for now that we have our Elite 8 set? Because I have mine that I think is going to be I don't know if it's going to be a poll or not, but Walt's bench versus number 11 cast members.
That one I'm excited for.
Starting off our Elite 8 is fucking crazy.
I'm excited for that one. When it comes down to the Parks region, thank you, buddy. My son just brought me springtime here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it brought me some flowers. Nice. A little flower that came out of our yard. Perfect springtime thing. Smell great. I love it. I'm excited. So until that bottom Parks region is set, I can't get too excited at the moment because, there's going to be heartbreak and upset there. One way or the other. You can have the 12 rolling in as an Elite 8 contender against a 2 or a 3. And like I said, I'll be upset one way or the other with Pirates or Mansion. I think I'll be more upset if I lose Mansion. But I also understand that there's sentimental on both sides. Now, when you get over to the other side, I'm excited actually to hear the argument for Lion King against Star Wars.
That's going to be good. So you're just taking Star Wars through this whole thing so far?
I have to some level.
Is there not a movie that was on the list that to you was better than Star Wars?
On the list that could have beat Star Wars?
Well, we're into the Elite 8 now, but
so in my head, when we started this all the way back at the first round, there's only I think 3 movies that could have beat Star Wars. The Avengers, I would have taken over Star Wars. Because of the overall storytelling and being a Marvel guy myself.
Right.
That I saw that happen. Coco, I think, could have taken Star Wars.
Okay.
And then I would have also went with The Incredibles.
Okay.
The Incredibles, I think, could have beat, because there's something about the hero's journey,
Right.
right? And in Star Wars, it's about the hero's journey. Aladdin wouldn't have held a candle, and The Lion King, that's going to be a fight for me because I love, don't get me wrong, I love The Lion King. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. However, being a kid of that era that Star Wars was so vastly popular, and then I saw the re-releases of the special edition of the original trilogy in the movie theaters when they came out. I saw the prequel trilogy in movie theaters.
Mm.
I've been steeped in the Star Wars lore even when the new movies came out. And if we would do the whole series of the movies, they would wipe out the whole movie section. But we're doing A New Hope. And A New Hope is like, and I'll just give you a little bit of it. A New Hope changed how movies were made, how they were directed. And as a filmmaker myself, as someone who has a little bit into that industry, there's a lot to it. And it's like, it would be like saying putting Snow White on this list, right? Snow White changed how animation was done. And I see it being a fight between the Lion King. I'm excited to hear the argument on that and see what it happens. And if we take it to a poll and Lion King beats it, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that.
I still think, looking at these matches, if I had to pick and predict who was going to come out of this, the winner overall.
Oh, God.
I'm really sold on the cast members right now.
See,
at number 11, which is the lowest seed left. And,
yeah.
And I have
not technically. It's not because we still have we have the poll for the bubble.
Oh, 12. Okay.
And 12. But I don't see Main Street making it out of the Parks region, and
they just made it out of another close one.
They did,
and so did the bubble off of a poll as well. So, that I think is going to come down to a couple votes.
Yeah.
Now, a couple votes.
For me, I agree with you. I can honestly see, no joke, the 11 and the 7 of the food booths, if we're going to be honest.
That would be a funny, crazy.
I could see that
matchup for the final, and to me it's crazy. Like I kind of like the way the bracket was made. It's growing on me more because to think that Epcot food booths can topple all the movies that just shows you how real college basketball works too.
Yeah, it does.
Because you could take the food booths and put them against the Incredibles, and they'd probably lose.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's just about who they go up against one game after another, beat the person that's next, and I'm excited for the next one, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I really am excited. It's like I'm excited for these two polls as much as my soul might be crushed on one of them.
Well, hey, look, there's a world that exists where Haunted Mansion could.
I know there's that world.
Could make it all the way to the final. So
there is that too.
You have no idea. I mean,
and if it came down to Mansion and cast members, oh my God! And this is I can already foresee the argument for that in my head because I was a Mansion cast member, and cast members make that attraction even better.
So you take away them, what are you left with?
It's exactly. So it's like I can see the argument for both of them. Like this is how crazy I am about Mansion, guys. And I'll just do this right here. Like, look at this. This is some silly shit right here. Look at this.
Well, and then there's my Jack Sparrow
right
there. So we're shaping up for a good matchup. But hey, look, in Haunted Mansion's defense, to defend them a little bit here against Pirates, I think that the cast members do that ride better than any cast members do any other ride.
Oh yeah.
If Pirates took the immersion to the next level like Haunted Mansion, that would blow that right out of the park. But no, we get just regular cast members who are like, oh, how many? 4? Okay. Road 2. I want you to talk like a pirate, man. You're a pirate. I'm supposed to be in the Pirates of the Caribbean. I want you to be like, hurry up, Road 2. Let's go, matey. Don't steal the rum from Jack Sparrow or some shit. Give me something.
And that's why, like, Jungle Cruise, I wish Jungle Cruise was still in this fight Because if it went up against Mansion, that would be a hard-pressed fight in that, because, the cast members make that attraction.
Right.
It's like, you have to think of it from the idea of, that's what I love about, what is it? Rise of the Resistance. The cast members make that attraction better.
Might be the most immersive ride ever.
It's mind-blowing, because the moment you get in there, like, hurry, get to the shuttle, hurry, and then next thing you know, you're captured, and now you're in a first order, like, containment unit, and it's like there's this whole thing. So it's like, cast members, I can see the argument, and it's going to be a hard-pressed fight, and if they upset a 1, that is wild.
That's gonna be great. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, Walt's bench is strong, dude. I mean, it's strong, real strong. But like, do enough people appreciate Walt's bench and understand Walt's bench?
Exactly. No, 100%. And so there's a lot here that, even I think our fans are going to really want to be like, you guys don't have to pull some of this shit, because I see the pull happening. I see polls happening on all this at this point. So I appreciate the thought that we put into this. I appreciate the fun that we've did with this, and I'm already actually looking forward to next year's poll and bracket. And and I actually have a thought. I'm going to put this out there, and we're still a few months off. What if we did a Christmas movie poll, a bracket style like this?
Yeah, that'd be fun, because there's a lot there. Maybe
is.
not 64 movies, but we can make it, one round less, maybe 32.
Yeah,
go right 30. Into 32 of them, and
going in, starting at like Thanksgiving time and rolling into the holidays, and give our fans a list of movies that, hey, Operation Magic really thinks these movies are the hottest movies out there for the holidays. Let's see what they think. You know what I mean?
Right.
And because this is like, stuff like this, I think, breaks up the monotony of a normal show. Like we normally, I love our normal shows, guys. Don't get me wrong. I love our fucking normal shows.
I hate them. I quit.
Right? But I truly can appreciate 100% everything we have going on here. I can.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Well, let us know in the comments if we got it right. If we got it wrong, I'll be surprised if we got it right. That's what we're not here to do.
Right. Well, I think we just blew up a bunch of brackets.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got blown up long ago. I actually did one, and
my bracket's just
round 1. It got wiped out.
Yeah, my bracket's done. I wouldn't have won anything.
I think I ended up arguing against my own bracket at some point.
I know, me too.
Like, what the fuck was I doing?
I just crumpled it up, threw it away. I'm like, well, there's that. I screwed myself.
Yeah, I screwed up.
Yeah.
I lost my own money.
Oh well. Hey, it's not like winning Ben Stein's money, guys. But hey, we got some sponsors we have to get to before we get the hell out of here. Josh, you want to take it away?
I'm checking on my daughter real quick, so you go ahead and lead us for the sponsors real quick, sir.
All right, guys. So I brought him up earlier. Our good friend Louis Bevilacqua. He's been on the show. We need to have him back on here soon. But to Marines Through Disney, he is out on a scavenger hunt. He was actually, I talked to him, and he's on it. He's on a trip right now with his son, doing a little road trip from Oregon through California, Nevada, and they were in Las Vegas. And he saw something that he just laughed at because he knows prices and the going rate of something. He saw a Walt Disney signed check for $40,000.
Wow.
And he said, that's not even real. He goes, that's a real signature, but that price, that's not the real price. I could have found something cheaper and better, and it's the authentic thing. So if you want to get your Disney antiquities, like this horseshoe from, the late 60s, early 70s for the Golden Horseshoe, park maps, autographs, whatever it is, Disney antiquities and more. Louis Bevilacqua over at Two Marines Through Disney at twomarinesthroughdisney@gmail.com. Hit him up. Then we have Josh's wonderful wife, who he is talking to at the moment, checking on his daughter, over at Magic Done Right, Kim Dunn, yes. The wonderful lady who books our trips and makes it happen for everybody. If you guys need a good trip, a good quote, you need someone who's going to, you can put your trust in and make sure your trips are done right. And you just don't want to do it because you have probably 18 kids or a busy job or whatever it is. She's the person you go to over at Magic Done Right. Check her out on Instagram. Hit her up. Send her a message. Say, hey, Kim, I need your help. And she will do it. Then we have, well, operationmagic.printful.me, Matthew O'Brien, Skullface Project. Yes, there we go. Josh and I designed that sweater right there. Yes. Tickle the veteran, like he always does. That is one of the wonderful pieces of merchandise you can get over at our shop. Matthew O'Brien at the Skullface Project, he does some of our artwork. You'll know what designs are his. But if you need some Skullface-inspired art done by him, and you like the Grateful Dead, and you like that sort of artwork, that's the man right there to do it. Check him out on Instagram, Skullface Project. Then we have Signs of Amusement. Yes, the one and only Signs of Amusement over at signsofamusement.com. Signs of Amusement on YouTube. They do monthly trivia. They do park signs, replica park signs. They do all kinds of stuff. They're a group of good people. They're fun. They're witty. And honestly, we like them. They're good people overall.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're pretty good people.
They're all right.
They're all right. They're good by us. So that's what I got. Anything I missed, Josh? Anything Bueller? Going once, going twice?
No. I'm gonna start researching my defense points for the next round.
As you should.
But that was fun. Hope you guys had a good time hanging out with us, and we will catch you guys on the next round.
Dang right. Take care, guys.
See you.
All right, squad. Listen up. You already know who we are. We are the Operation Magic Podcast. Disney loving, dad run, veteran built. Every week, we're here bringing you that magic straight to the veins. And now we've got something even bigger. It's official, guys. The Operation Magic merch. Those t-shirts, those hoodies, the mugs, stickers, you name it. All Disney inspired, all made for the Operation Magic squad. This isn't just gear. This is the uniform. You throw this on, you're not just a fan. You're a part of the family. Every piece supports this show, keeps the mission alive, and helps us keep bringing laughs, the stories, and the magic every single week. So what are you waiting for? Hit operationmagic.printful.me right now. Grab your gear and show the world who you are rolling with. Operation Magic. Rep the magic. Rep the squad.